We're there to be a representation for the supply chain in offshore wind and the maritime sectors. So we're really there to try to promote the sector, to bring everybody together and to realise more opportunities for Northern Ireland.
And Northern Ireland has a rich and long maritime history, from being a global leader in shipbuilding through to more recently heavy industry, heavy construction, seabed, surveying. It's a really large footprint in terms of the development of offshore wind. It's ideally placed to serve the west coast of England, Scotland, Wales, where you have an indigenous industrial support to pull on, to rely on, that have the experience of doing it globally, which they have here in Northern Ireland.
In the offshore space, it's not just about what can be physically seen in terms of ports, infrastructure, and wind turbines. It's what infrastructure is invisible as well, and that's the digital infrastructure for setting people to work and getting the job done safely, which ultimately maximises production.
I think the biggest strength in Northern Ireland is our problem-solving attitude. We take ownership and accountability, and we make sure that we see a project through to the end delivery. So that's something we're really, really good at.
In Northern Ireland, we have a large proportion of our younger population graduating from university, and there's such an amazing opportunity to work in the offshore and maritime sectors where you can have really well-paid jobs, skilled jobs, long-term employment, and our coastal communities are in decline. Offshore renewables has a major part to play here. If we can have offshore developments in our territorial waters, this means that we then have the day-to-day operations and maintenance, the other support services in those communities for 25 plus years.
I had always a really big interest in, the whole maritime industry and everything that goes on with that. So whenever I saw an opportunity to get into, a local job that incorporated those interests, I took it.
Everyone's trying to work for the future. Should it be the offshore cable? Should it be the offshore wind farms? All of it, you can see you're promoting that green economy, and it's a massive opportunity for everyone, and I think it's definitely something that's close to my heart.
We're in it together. No one company can do all this on their own, but when these projects land on our doorstep, we all need to work together as a team. When we have problems on site, we need to work to find those local solutions, local people, local resources, and these companies that come to our shores from Denmark and from further afield, they're looking for those local supply chain opportunities.
Belfast Harbour and Foyle Port, we complement one another. We can certainly support and complement the post-commissioning life cycle of these offshore renewable facilities through O&M support, through warehousing, logistics housing, training, and we're very well placed to do that and complement what we need to do across Northern Ireland with the other ports.
The port infrastructure is there. We have confidence that we already have a number of really strong companies in the supply chain, and we can further develop our skill base. But what we really need then is government and other stakeholders such as the Crown Estate to bring forward the leases and the legislation to support the development of Northern Ireland's offshore wind resource.
Ultimately, from a developer's perspective, if the door is opened, we'll walk through it and we'll invest. We'll employ people. We'll spend money in local communities, we'll give jobs, we'll give long-term jobs. We need to have our grid ready to connect in any of those offshore wind projects.
In 5 years' time, what we'd love to see is NIMO being the biggest cluster in the UK and Ireland, where we join everybody together and to make it actually happen.
Northern Ireland has the coastline, it has the talent, and it has, most importantly, the people. As well as the wind, we've got those resources, and if we get the investment opportunities and bring people along with us on the journey, we really can get this right and make a supply chain homegrown in Northern Ireland that delivers for decades to come.